Hello, welcome to our session today. We'll just allow people a moment or two to come in and then we will begin. Good morning, welcome. We are allowing the audience to join us and we will begin the session very shortly. Good morning. We will wait a moment or two longer and we'll begin today's session. A very warm welcome to those who are already here. Hello. And welcome to this ETOA webinar. My name's Rachel Reed. I am Director of Insight here at ETOA, and I am delighted to be joined today by Mirko Lally of Data Appeal and by Joël Ferdinandis of Rotterdam and Partners. A very warm welcome to both of you today. And this is the first webinar we have run with Data Appeal since setting up our partnership, and I very much look forward to hearing you both speak shortly, and indeed look forward to more webinars with you in the future into next year. And well, today, as I'm sure you know, we're going to delve into AI and the opportunities it presents for destinations. We are fortunate to have two people who already have experience of this with us today. It's quite a new field and one of the first times we've run a session on it. So we'll start off with Mirko, who is going to talk generally about some of the work that Data Appeal are doing in AI and how that's beneficial to destinations. And then Joël is going to show us specifically what they've been doing in Rotterdam to harness some of these opportunities. And just before we hear from them, a couple of housekeeping points. Both the presentations will be available to you afterwards. We'll send those out fairly soon after the session, along with a link to the recording as well. If you do have questions, please feel free to pop them into the Q&A facility, and hopefully we'll have time to address some of those after we've heard Mirko and Joël speaking. And so with that, I'll hand over to Mirko to begin.
Thank you, Rachel. Just give me the time for sharing my screen. So I'm Mirko Lally. I'm the CEO and founder of a company that is called Data Appeal. We was born in 2014. We are an Italian company. We are based in Florence. And since the beginning, the name of the company was Travel Appeal. And we started using AI very early, even because it became so fancy like today. So then we changed name, we changed value proposition, we moved the value proposition on data, and it's actually what we are doing today. So we want to help destinations to make more effective usage of data, understanding how people are perceiving the destination and how data can drive and helps destination managers and the people that manage the destination with their decision-making process. In my presentation, I will not dive. It's not a product presentation, of course. I leave the how a destination use data to Joël that bring a specific use case. I want just to make a little scenario about the impact of the AI on travel and on tourism market. There is a lot of this happening. You know, everybody, that the AI is changing everything right now. It's 1 year. A few days ago was the first birthday of the launching of ChatGPT. You remember 1 year ago when OpenAI made this breakthrough announcement, and everybody was, not completely understanding what was happening, and a lot it's happening the last year. And there is a study from Goldman Sachs, for example, that says that the impact of AI on the global GDP will be more than 7%. 7% is a huge number. So just imagine what can happen in the travel industry. For that presentation, I choose I pick up some of the best article on the web from FocusWire, from Skift, from the research from other, consulting companies, and I try to figure it out what is the impact that we have to attend from the AI that is happening today. So it's not something that will happen in the future. It's happening today while we speak. First, before to start, to be very practical and to understand what we can attend, I want to start with a question. This is a question it's a very famous question. In 1950, a very famous paper made by Alan Turing started with this word. So I propose to consider the question, can machine think? And the answer is no, of course. So everything that you are seeing today, even the most exciting things about machine, this, for example, is a reel from Instagram. Somehow somebody publishing on Instagram is a robot that sees himself. It's an AI robot that sees himself for the first time on a mirror, and it's impressive. So it seems really self-consciousness, but of course it's not. The only thing that an AI may do, and it's very, very good in doing that, is to mimic, is to copy what humans do. There is a lot of that's happening in terms of generative AI. Generative AI is not only ChatGPT, is not only OpenAI. There is a large variety of other technology. There are, growing up, and the market will be completely different probably in the future, and this is exciting. I will show you along the presentation a video where somebody says that the AI that we have today is the worst AI ever, because we only became better in the future. So what we can expect? What the travel industry may consider when we think to the impact of the AI in this specific industry. Every single component of the industry will be affected, of course, because it's real. It's not just a little enhancement. This is a completely new paradigm. I chose 3 different points. I start with the first one. This is the AI from the traveler side, so the tourist side. Even today, it's very easy. If you open ChatGPT and you enable a couple of plugins, Expedia, a plugin for the weather, and maybe OpenTable plugin, you may ask in a very simple way to plan your vacation in whatever part of the world. And in just a couple of clicks, just a couple of iterations, if you want to be more precise, you may have a very comprehensive itineraries, and you may have what a human should take a very long time to imagine, because it's based on hundreds, millions of web contents, is based on hundreds of articles, and it's based on all the contents made by destination itself. So just try by yourself. It's very easy, and just think how many jobs can be empowered by this capability. I don't think it will be a substitution of human. I really think that the human that make this specific job may take a huge advantage in using this technology. Even in enriching the information, it's very easy right now. For example, even with the simple ChatGPT, producing images, very original images, without any effort, just as a prompt. So you can write whatever you want in the style that you want, and you have your image. I already talked about the itineraries, and you can also ask for the optimization. I want to visit that part of the destination, and please focus on food experience, whatever you need. And it's pretty impressive how relevant the outcome it's actually today. So may only become better in the future. Let's change a little the perspective from the destination side. And it's worked even better because the destination side may use generative AI for helping interpret data, may use AI like we do. For example, we have integrated the technology of generative AI inside our tools for helping people to be, to have a more simple interaction with data and to understand what a specific KPI may mean, for example. So it's a very simple way for simplify even more the interaction of a destination manager or professional, or destination professional, even in marketing or whatever, to understand data. But even for working on the product of the promotion, the most effective part today is the marketing, because it's very easy it's very simple, fast, easy to produce original contents. This, for example, is a picture made in some part of the Middle East that highlight the historical heritage of the area. Just imagine of how many pictures you can generate with no effort, and just, for example, to have a specific link with historical fact, historical character of the destination, and you may render in a visual way, in a very easy way, it's for sure cheaper and effective than a human operator. And this could be also a great part for starting for a human operator, a human designer, for designing and reaching humanly even more. It is not just image. A couple of days ago, for example, a new company is a startup that is called PIKA that announced a very simple way for realizing video with a prompt. So you just type whatever you want in the style that you want, and you obtain a video. I repeat that. You just write what the subject that you want, the style that you want, or for example, you start with an image and you want to animate, or you start with another video, you want to change style. And this is a very, it's not open, so I don't know actually the cost of that technology, but I think will be completely democratic and cheaper like all other technology. ChatGPT costs $20 a month, and may only be better in the future. Of course, you can use AI for personalize the experience for your travelers in several ways. The way that I already talked about, so having specific content for specific people, but also using AI. This is a McKinsey paper. I leave the link on the slide. So if you want to deep dive on this McKinsey paper, it's specific on the impact of the AI on the tourist sector. You can use AI for having what is considered a very important part, an hyper-segmentation. It's exciting, the title. So hyper-segmentation driven down to the segment of one. So every single people may be addressed individually because because it's possible, because the technology, and you can it's even today it's possible, but it's costly, and it's difficult for targeting specific message to specific people. You can automatize that. You can ask AI for producing specific content for specific people, even each specific people. And of course, just imagine the change in conversion behavior and the change in the quality of the experience and the quality of the product you can deliver to your travelers in your destination. The final meaning, the final outcome is that is possible with AI is overall enhancing customer experience and customer support. Even today, there is a lot of destinations that are already using conversational interface, so the so-called chatbot, but not the term chatbot, so something even more intelligent. Just imagine ChatGPT that work for your destination and answer with that intelligence, with that technology to the question of your travelers, and maybe a great enhancement in all the phases of the travel. So before, during the travel, and also after the travel, that you can upsell something and that you can even convince people to return back to your destination. In the same study I showed before, the study by McKinsey, there is some use cases. I don't want to talk about each single use cases now, but it's pretty simple to imagine. You are all in the travel industry, how you can use AI in every part, for example, while you're arriving in a hotel. So you can enhance, simplify, streamline each single interaction of the travelers. And it's not be worse. So I already talked with a lot of operators that are scared about the lack of human interaction. It's not. So human interaction may be reserved for the things that really matter for the travelers. So you may have a real, authentic human interaction with your travelers, with your guests, and in the same way, leave the boring task and leave all the other things that may be solved to be managed by the AI. And it's great. You save time, you save money, and you deliver better experience overall to your travelers. The AI today, it's a prompt. So all the generative AI, whatever it's in every app that you may have, it's based on prompt communication. So you may have you may interact by writing something. And I think this is the main revolution for the future. I'm pretty sure that the main revolution that will bring in the industry, not only in the travel industry, but overall in the market from the AI, it's a sort of UX revolution. So a user experience, a user interface revolution. Something because it's becoming more and more popular to interact with all the applications that you can imagine by typing something. So it's like chatting, it's like using WhatsApp with your ERP or with your CRM or with your whatever app. And all the apps will be more and more intelligent, understanding natural language and answering in a more clever way using natural languages. I think this would be one of the biggest heritage made by AI. Just imagine, for example, when, and somebody already started, for example, trip.com already started. Just imagine when the OTA, Booking, Expedia, or trip.com or whatever, Trivago, start to shift towards this type of UX when you you don't ever have to search for somebody. You simply ask for something and you receive an answer in natural language that is completely and perfectly tailored to you. And it will be another breakthrough. And I'm sorry, but the AI is not going anywhere. So it will be better and better. It will be liquid in any sector, and it's pretty easy today, for example, to use the API made by OpenAI, made by Microsoft, made by AWS, Amazon, made by Google to integrate AI capability, even generative AI in any application. I will not be surprised at all that in the future, the destinations of the tour operator will use that specific feature to enable and to enhance their experience in their website, on their app, or whatever touch point they have with the travelers. I will show a 10-second clip made by a few weeks ago in San Francisco. It's a surprise. It's a video made by one of the managers by the New York Convention Bureau. And I think it's pretty interesting to understand what Janet is.
Is that all going to happen today? It's not. But the AI that we are using today is the dumbest AI you are ever going to touch.
It's the dumbest to touch. So just to finish, I have 3 more slides for telling you what is our approach to AI. So we want to disrupt the traditional methods of destination analysis. There are, they are valid, of course. It's not something that is more or less valid in understanding. We want just to empower the old way of destination analysis, and we want to bring in the destination management sector an approach that is based on big data and AI, because it's more cheaper, it's more effective, it simplifies your understanding, it's more precise, you have a predictive analysis, and you make forecasts for the future in a more easy way, for example. And there is a way, for example, we were talking before while we were waiting for connecting. For example, we use AI for deriving our proprietary KPI. Just once for all, we have a proprietary KPI that is called Destination Sustainability Index. There is an objective way, completely automatic way, valid worldwide, to assessing the sustainability of a destination. It's based on ETI's framework, so the European framework for assessing sustainability of a destination. And but the plus from our side is that it is completely automatic and is based on hundreds of data sources and managed by AI. So you can, for example, benchmark to different destinations and compare to different destinations, the same destination in different parts of the year. And those, for example, there's two simple tasks are completely impossible to do with traditional metrics, because of course, if I have a form to fill it up, it's completely subjective, as it's impossible to compare with another destination. Generically, what we do is to build, this is pretty fancy today, while we started was not so common phrase, is we want to, using data, public and private data, to build what we call a sort of digital twin. So a digital representation of the destination that may be useful for understanding not only what happened, but what happened in certain scenario for the future, and may help, of course, to taking better decision. For closing, what's next? What's to attend for the future? Both tourist side and destination side. The future will be every technology in every, I mean, if you study the history of technology, every technology to become more and more useful have to disappear. And the future of AI will follow that path. So I really think that the future of AI, we will have a pervasive AI, and we even know that we are using AI in our daily life. I will show you, that's a seconds of couple of video, for example, already available. This one are the new glasses by Meta and Ray-Ban, are enabled with Meta AI, so the AI made by Facebook. You have two cameras on top that are completely, I mean, invisible if you don't know, are completely normal, pretty normal glasses, but you have AI in your hair. You can ask for something. You can take video, make photo, share photo, make live streaming on the go, and it's completely invisible for the other. And even in the same path, this is the very famous AI pin, because it's famous because even the model in the last fashion week in Paris, everybody wear it, so it's already available, and you just wear it. You can talk with him by voice. You have a laser projection for seeing information, or you just talk with your AI pin by voice. And it's pretty interesting for the travelers and for the tourists, because you can recognize the world behind you. So you can ask, for example, the story of the monuments, or where I am, or where I can go for, whatever. And sorry, I saw a message. And another thing that you can do is live translate while you are on the go. So just think, I mean, the impact of the agent like that, because it will be the first one, and for the future, you can only be better. You may have better agent, AI agent integrated in your wearable, for example. And just imagine how the experience of your travelers will be affected by that. So I will finish here. I will leave to Joel. If you want to connect with me, make a screenshot. You have my LinkedIn profile. If you have questions, even after the webinar, just DM, or you want the presentation and you don't able to download, just DM me on Instagram. Is the right QR code. And I'm finishing here. Rachel, I give the floor to you.
Thank you very much, Mirko. That was a really interesting overview about what's already out there and the potential that can be harnessed by destinations. And we're going to now move over to Joelle, who's going to give us some specific examples of what they're doing in Rotterdam. So, Joelle, if you want to bring up your presentation, we would love to hear from you.
Yes, I will. But first of all, my compliments to Mirko. This morning, my daughter, she's 14 years old, and we were talking about Christmas presents. You know what she said to me? Daddy, I know what I want to have for Christmas. That's a new glass from Ray-Ban, where you can do. So it's the glasses you were talking about. So it's.
Joel, I bought last week. I mean, it's worth.
Oh, wow.
Trust me, it's incredible. They are incredible.
Thank you very much. So let me see. I think we tried it. So this should work. Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Perfect.
Joelle, we are not in slide mode, though.
All right. Does this work?
Not yet.
This should work. Let me see.
The other screen.
Yes, we can see your notes alongside those still, Joelle.
Yeah. Is this better?
Not yet.
We
If
tried.
you have two screens, you have to share the second screen. I think.
I think in testing, Joel, it was the middle button. Apologies, my Dutch isn't good enough to tell you what it says, but the middle button at the top was the one I think that gave us the full screen.
Well, don't know why, but somehow.
Joel.
Yeah.
Can I suggest you to unplug the second screen, just use one screen and put in presentation mode. It should work.
Yeah.
Now exit for presentation mode and enter it again. It should work.
It's still not working, I think. Well, I suggest I just start, because otherwise I'm taking too much time.
Okay, we look forward to it anyway, Joel. Whether we can see half or all, we can still see enough.
Yeah. Well, you as you can see, of course, my text that I written next to the presentation is of course made by ChatGPT. So this is part of the experience. Yeah. Okay. So, well, thank you for having me. First of all, I want to tell you a little bit about Rotterdam Partners and what kind of organization we are. We are the Destination Marketing Office of Rotterdam, and we are also responsible for the international trade and investment. My colleagues actually, they use a lot of big data, and they have a Power BI to generate all the data, so we can get congresses and events to Rotterdam, and of course the tourists. Our marketing strategy is to create awareness and image building, and connect the city stakeholders together to collaborate for a good partner network. Here's a little bit of our goals in tourism for 2024. We try to position Rotterdam as a sustainable, innovative, and inclusive city, and persuade potential leisure and business visitors to spend multiple days in exploring Rotterdam. And we aim on the doers. We call them the doers. That's our target group. It's a front runner tourist, and they are have very much influence on the people in their environment. So if the tourists love our city, they will tell their friends and family to come to Rotterdam also. So in that way, we have the guests we want in our city who contribute to the livability of our city also. My colleagues, we have a press department, and they have a lot of press talking about Rotterdam. Last year, we had a reach of 850 million people via all these different papers who wrote about us. The Times, the New York Times, the Zeit, all those parties wrote about Rotterdam and our city. And Rotterdam is the second city of the Netherlands, and we have about 2 million people who are staying in Rotterdam every year, and they come from everywhere in the world. Most of them come from the Netherlands, but almost 10% are coming from Germany and the rest of Belgium, France, and United Kingdom. And within Rotterdam Partners, I'm responsible for the Rotterdam experience. And when the people come to Rotterdam, me and my colleagues, we will stand at the gates of Rotterdam and give them a warm welcome. And of course, we're doing that, working together. Today, I'm going to give you some insight about how we use ChatGPT, big data, and AI via platform Gastvrij. That's a group of stakeholders working in the leisure industry. We created a vision on hospitality. I'm going to tell you a little about our new welcome card and how we do the mobile tourist information centers of the future. Let me start with the platform Gastvrij. I know it's a difficult word to say, but we are responsible for hospitality in Rotterdam. And our aim and our dream is to become the most welcoming city in the world. At this moment, our guests rate us with an 8.4. And a few months ago, I came across the data appeal, and I thought it blew my mind. Just like the presentation of Mirko also did. I thought, wow, this is what we need to get more knowledge and more insights. And we have a saying in Rotterdam, and that says you have to change to say the same. And we just started as an experiment. My advice to everybody is just start. We don't know where it will end, but just start with trying and experimenting. This is what big data showed us. It showed us the data appeal showed us. It showed us where the people come from, how many days they stay, where did they spend their time. We know that our English visitors, they love our city because it's a 15-minute city. They come with the train or with the boat, and they say everything is walkable and everybody talks English very well. But the German visitors, they come by car and they say, well, they don't like the roads because it's very crowded. So that's why we had a marketing campaign with our hotels that the people with the cars should park their cars outside of the city and then take the public transport. And that way they have also the good experience. So these are the insights Data Appeal already are giving us. So that's really, really handy. And I got it on my mobile phone, and it's yeah, you can see everything on it, where the guests come from, how long they stay, which transport they use. It's really easy, and I would advise everybody to start with it, because it really helps you to improve hospitality, and that's what our aim is also for the platform Gastvrij. We also have a Rotterdam city card. Well, let me start by the old city card we have. The old city card was one of paper. You should buy it at the tourist information center, and with that you went to the attractions or to the zoo or whatever, and you get some reduction. And of course, for the visitors, that's very handy. But we didn't collect any data from it, so that's why we tried to make a digital one and collect all the data from our visitors when they come into the city. And it works a little bit like this. The hotel, when you book a hotel reservation, the hotel will send you an information card. When you come into the city, my colleagues from Tourist Information Center will hand you a free city card. And we have, of course, our marketing campaigns where you can download the free city card. It's free. Normally it costs you a few euros, but from now on it's free. The only thing you have to do, you create an account, you get all kinds of experience vouchers, you visit the venue, you scan, and the visitors, they get the perfect experience. They get to talk with the chef in a restaurant. They get to talk with the guy who cleans the lion house in the zoo. So they get all kinds of special experience. The partners, they don't give a reduction anymore, but we ask them to do a small donation for a good cause. So that's way there is a regenerative way of using tourism for the better of the city. And of course, we as Rotterdam Partners, we collect a lot of data that enables us to improve our marketing campaigns and to do even more and better work. And yeah, then we come to the mobile information desk. We noticed that the traditional tourist information centers that were not on the best places, they're not very much visited anymore. So that's why we developed mobile informations, not only to use as a brochure outlet, but as a service point where we share knowledge and information and gathering data. And we don't know how the future will look like, but maybe there will be virtual humans giving tourist information or augmented reality tours where you can experience our city when you are sitting at home. All these things are happening, and I'm looking really forward to the future and see how everything will develop. Yeah, for me, there is always, and there will always be a sweet spot between human interaction and artificial intelligence. I think that the sweet spot is just in between. I hope this little information about Platform Gastvrij and the city card and the mobile tourist information centers helped you to just start. Just start, and you will see the future will develop in a very beautiful way. I will let you guys with a small video about Rotterdam, and hope to see you next time in our city. Well, thank you very much. And we're going back to Rachel again.
Yes, we are. Thank you very much, Joel. Really interesting to see some of the applications of the things that Mirko was talking about. I would like to point out that Mirko has put a link in the chat to an ebook that Data Appeal have made on this very topic. Mirko, do you want to just say a word or two about that? And then we can move to questions. You're on mute there, Mirko.
Sorry. It's a book, it's an ebook that we made completely free, of course, that we made specifically for this webinar, where we put in order all the thoughts that I put in the presentation. So what is the impact? If you want a reference alongside the presentation, there is only images. I normally use only images since I talk over the images, and you want to read something about, you can find it in the ebook.
Thank you. And I think we will be able to include the link to that ebook with
Sure,
your
absolutely, feel free.
when we send all the presentations and the link to the recording. We'll put that in there as well. And it is free, isn't it, as well, Mirko?
Absolutely, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we've got some questions as coming in. Just a comment to you, Joel. Somebody was saying thank you, Rotterdam, for such showing us your unique, welcoming, and innovative city. So you're obviously doing something right there. A few people have commented they can't see Mirko's link in the chat, so don't worry, we will send it out to you when we follow up with the webinar.
Let me put it again, just yeah, because I can only send to host and panelists. Maybe you can, I mean,
we'll fix that. Not to worry. There is an ebook that accompanies. So we'll send that as well. We have a question for you, Joel, from Amanda McIntyre here. She was asking about the digital visitor card. Is it a separate application, or are you just using it? She's asking if it's part of your larger data collection, or do you have it entirely separately when you're using the data for the digital card?
Well, we're starting with a pilot next month. So we started gonna use it separately, but we're gonna use it in the future, of course, as in our omni-channel strategy. I think that all those multi-channels is not good enough. You have to combine everything, all the knowledge you collect and all the data you collect to help your visitors as good as possible. So it started as a pilot. It started as a lone wolf, as a lone project, but we're gonna combine everything in the future.
Wonderful, thank you, Joe. And just while some questions are coming in, and there was something that really struck me, Mirko, as really interesting towards the end of your presentation. And you were talking about AI's ability to deal with complex KPIs when we're looking at metrics for how well destinations are doing. And I thought that was very interesting because I saw you highlight there sustainability, and then obviously some inclusivity and safety, which are topics that are very, I suppose, subjective. Your opinion on what sustainability is sort of depends on the point of view you're coming from. The same for safety and inclusivity. And I wondered if you could just tell us a little bit more about the capability there, because I think that's something that we are going to need to be able to do more of in the future.
Sure. I take a little more simple example where you mentioned the inclusivity part. And we are working to an inclusivity index that's already working, for example, for measuring the positioning of a destination in terms of LGBTQ plus tourism and offering. Our methodology is pretty easy at the end of the day, straightforward. From one side, we collect all the evidence. So we collect every single point of interest of the destination, every single hotel, restaurant, museum, shops, whatever in the destination, how is positioned towards, for example, inclusivity or LGBTQ plus. You are gay friendly, you have a sort of certification, you are announcing yourself in a specific website. So how you are communicating your inclusivity in that specific clusters. And on the other side, we collect all the feedbacks. So all the comments, reviews, posts, social media, whatever, just to understand how people are really effectively perceiving you. And of course, it's a hard job. You need AI for gathering all together and understanding. There are millions of comments, you can understand from both parties. And then we compare. So we compare how you are presenting yourself and how people are perceiving you. And at the end of the day, there is an algorithm that is still a KPI. So it's just not a simple, I mean, it's not an average. It's a little more complex, as you can imagine. But this is, and it's pretty precise because you do not have a statistical approach. So you have a completely inverse, is the opposite. So you have a big data approach. So you take everything and you try to understand what is available inside into huge amount of data. And it's working, and we use kind of the same methodology for example, for the companies. We have an indicator, it's not for tourism, but just for understanding. We have an indicator that is called FAIR Index that we use for companies. And it's the same methodology, how you are presenting yourself and how people are perceiving you. So, and you need AI for figuring it out at this volume of data.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. So a question again for you, Joel. Still lots of interest in your city card and the data. This is a question asking whether you faced any resistance from tourism businesses in terms of collecting and sharing information. Was that something that you had to consider as well? And I think part of their question is they're wondering, do you own that data then, or where does the ownership sit?
Yeah, well, we own the data, but we're gonna, of course, share it with everybody who is contributing as a partner. Yeah.
And was there any resistance, did you find, or has it been quite a smooth journey?
Well, it was very smooth, actually. We have now a pilot group of only 10 to start with, and they all were very, very enthusiastic to collaborate with us. And I think it's with things like this, it's not the return of investment in these things, but it's more like a question of the risk of ignorance. If they are not doing and helping us, what can they lose?
Indeed. Thank you. I think we're coming to a close now. We've just got the last couple of things coming in. A few people asking, I guess this is for both of you as an opinion really, on what do you think the impact of AI might be on jobs in the tourism industry? Do you think some roles will change or be replaced, or how do you think that might look in the future? Perhaps come to you first, Mirko, because you've got your microphone on.
I think that we have of course, there have an impact, like every new technology has, an impact in the past in the job, but the volume of the new jobs that will be created in the future will be, much higher than the job that you lost. You have just to reposition yourself. You need to study. You need to just be curious. You need to start using all those magnificent application that you may empower yourself in and simplify your job. I think I normally show an image of somebody wrote on Twitter a few months ago. It will be not an AI that will substitute you, but the people using AI will. So I really think like that.
Wonderful.
I totally agree with that, Mirko. I think that of course it helps us and enables us to go faster, but in the end, there's nothing more better than real humans interact with each other and holding hands and sharing the same experience. In Rotterdam, we have a saying that's called Rotterdam is niet te veel, maar Rotterdam is veel te echt. That's a Dutch poet called Jules Dilder, and that's the thing. Rotterdam is not you can't film Rotterdam. It's much too real, and I think that will always stay in tourism also. You have to experience it in real life to have the best experience.
Absolutely. I've got a question here, which is addressed to Mirko, but it sort of links into what you've been saying, Joel, about just start and people wondering about sort of how to get going. And the question for Mirko is, this person says, I liked your slides on the traditional research methods versus big data and AI, and obviously lots of destinations very well up on traditional research methods. And this person just wondering, do you have suggestions for making that first step when it comes to moving over to the big data and AI? What should they do first, Mirko?
I will try to make a promotion, of course. There is a lot of data that you can take in consideration while you start. So if you start moving on the big data, you may find yourself to deal with telephonic data, credit card data, perception data. You may have OTA data. So just choose, we are not the only one in the world, of course, just choose somebody that may help you choosing which data may be more relevant for specific purposes. So maybe you just need to understand the impact of an event, I don't know, or whatever you need to understand. And there are different set of data that you may be more suitable for you. So choose a company that, like us, may have several type of data and that may have an agreement with several data providers. So you may choose the different data that you may need.
Yeah, and if I may add to that, data is like a good book. If you don't read it and you just put it on the shelf, it's worth nothing. What we did in Rotterdam, we worked together with the municipality, the hotels, the museum, the event sector, the retailers, the public transport, and everybody in the leisure industry. We collect all the data we have, and we of course added the data we collect with data appeal, and we make goals. We work together on our mission, and we made a strategic plan, and that's why we're moving further. So not only collect it, but also use it and do that together with all the other stakeholders. That's, I think, one of the most important things that will make it a success.
Thank you. And I think that's a good note to end our discussion on. As I said, we will be sending out the presentations and the ebook link to you after this. So look out for that in your inbox. We'll also post this on our Insight Hub, which is etoa.org/insight. So take a look at that if you haven't been. We've got lots of different kinds of reports, opinion pieces, etc. on there. Data Appeal has their own channel within the Insight Hub. So if you're specifically looking for data appeal things, you can pull that down as a category. So do take a look. So it remains for me to thank Mirko and Joel very much for your forward-looking insights today, and to thank you all for attending. I wish you all a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.